Carl Smesko just joined the Atlanta Dream. I'm curious what you knew about him before joining this team.
Not gonna lie, not a lot. But once he got hired here, before I even thought about coming to Atlanta, I definitely looked him up and I was thoroughly impressed. Wherever he went, it turned into a winning program, beating top teams, and something like that in a coach. I love that. Straight shooter, I love that as well. My dad always taught me to trust somebody that's a straight shooter. So, I was really impressed once I got to meet him as well.
Along with that, you talked schematically that he would talk to the players before really figuring out what this team would look like. Where do you want to see your game evolve within this team, and where do you think you can make the biggest impact when he does that?
I know I'm gonna tell him right off the bat. I know I can get players open. I know I can get my guards open and make them get them to have easier shots, and then being that presence down in the paint as well. I know those two things I do really well, and however he wants to use me, challenge me, I'm ready to do it.
BG, I know we know now why you chose Atlanta, but when those conversations started to materialize, at what point were you like, all right, this is it, I'm going to ride with the A?
I knew pretty early on, honestly. Talking with, like I said, with Lee's Rye and JC over the past, honestly, a couple years, just talking to them. Didn't know that I didn't feel like I was being recruited, but once I look back on it, I was like, yeah, like it was always genuine with them. It was so easy to talk with them. It was never, anything weird. It became pretty early on that I was going to come here, and then the meeting was amazing as well too. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting with them, and I just had to do it. Just waiting on the date.
Curious from your perspective, the W has grown immensely just in the last couple of years. What do you think about the growth of the W as a whole?
We're in a good place, but we're never gonna say okay, we're at a good spot and get complacent. We're gonna keep challenging the league to get better. The women that are coming out of college as well is putting a push on everybody, owners, GMs, teams to do better and offer up more. We're top athletes, and we're not going overseas as much anymore now, staying in market more. So just having that opportunity to be in the markets, have something to do, to be able to provide for our families as well is big. And I think the league is doing a good job so far on growing that.
I know you talked about.
What does it mean to you personally for you to be a part of this?
For me, it means everything because, as much as I chose them, they chose me as well. And, to feel wanted and valued like that, for them to go above and beyond in the recruitment of you as well, and being straightforward with you in those meetings, because there's a lot of tough conversations that happen, in this business. And sometimes, it can be hard to see those. Like I said, from the jump, talking with them and everything, it's been just straightforward, and I can't ask for anything better.
I know you talked about how important to you your work off the court
Mm-hmm.
is. In Phoenix, I know you partnered with the rescue mission and also Bring Our Families Home.
Yep.
Can you talk about why that's so important to you to do, and will that work with Bring Our Families Home continue in Atlanta?
Yes. Oh, no, that's not going away at all. I'm definitely going to be a part of Bring Our Families Home because there's still too many Americans that are overseas right now and not with their families. And heinous conditions. And then for me, like I said, working with the homeless, a lot of time it's just so easy to look past somebody that, doesn't have as much as you, and to give them a voice and just give them a light, it means everything to me because I know what it feels like to be on the other side where people kind of overlook you or write you off now. So I'm definitely looking forward to figuring out, who I can partner with. Anybody watching this right now, I'm looking for organizations to partner with and do stuff in my community.
Last question.
Real quick, you mentioned how much deciding to come here was the people. Was there a moment or something that kind of just stuck out to you that you were like, man, this place is going to be my home?
It was just collective of everybody. It was just a collective of everybody. And just, like I said, being in the South is a big thing for me. Like I said, my wife's from Arkansas. I'm Houston. My mom's side of the family, Louisiana. Like, the South is deep in my roots. And there's some really rich history, hard history, but rich history as well. And, with the Atlanta Dream, the Dream alone right there, how they got their name. yeah, this was the spot for me.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, BG.
Y'all stay right here. Let's let BG out.
Carl Smith just joined the Dream. Did you know about him, or what did you have to do before kind of signing on the line? Got here.
Yeah, no, I had actually, watched some of their games during the tournament over the years. Just, I've always been impressed by the way he's coached Florida Gulf Coast. So I think just being able to make that connection and talk to him and get his philosophy and just, learn more about him over this past week or so has been great. And, I was really glad to be able to meet him and now I get to play for him.
What are your impressions of Atlanta, the city, and Gateway Center Arena? It was funny, Jordan Canada once told me it was her favorite place to play because they just feel like everyone's on top of you and it's loud.
Yeah, no, every time you walk in, or every time you play in the arena, you feel the atmosphere, like you feel the crowd. So it's always great playing there. Before it was just, great silencing the crowd, but now being able to, hopefully bring that energy and maintain it and play in front of it, I think it's something that's I'm really excited about.
A little more on Smethko, on Carl. Your initial conversations with him, a lot of women are talking about he's very open, he's very honest. What did you take away from those initial conversations?
No, I definitely felt he was really genuine with all the conversations I've had with him. Just being able to say what he wants, what he expects out of us, what he's, trying to bring to the Dream. And I just felt like I wanted to be a part of that. And I just felt like it was a good fit, just personality-wise, after talking to him.
All right, we're listening to it now. It seems like a good vibe, all of a sudden, with every single person. How does it mesh so seamlessly with you guys, just like that?
I think it's just great people. I think, like Dan said, over the years they've, made emphasis of bringing good people, bringing good culture to the Dream, and I think that shows with, people constantly wanting to come, getting Alicia and Jordan, the past couple of years. So I think just building that foundation of good culture that, attracts people.
Last one, what about making a move like you're making now at this particular time for the women's game? What we've seen the last 2-3 years, and now you just.
Oh yeah, no, I think it just felt like time for me to leave Connecticut, but I think I'm excited to play in Atlanta, play in a new market, play in a new city, and I just feel the energy. And I'm excited to be a part of that.
And you talked about that culture. The three of you guys bring so much experience. How can you add to that culture and bring on it from what you guys have learned from your three prospective teams?
Yeah, I'm hoping to just add. I think between the three of us, we have a lot of experience, and we know the talent and the skill level, and the people that are already here in the Dream, and just be able to take them to the next level. Hopefully, I think that's our goal. We're always wanting to compete for a championship, and I think all the right pieces in the right places to be able to do that.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Bree. Thank you so much. Welcome.
What were your first impressions of Carl? Because he just joined the Atlanta Dream and he's really trying to bring his vision to life.
Very intentional, very straightforward, very honest. And in honesty for me, like obviously I just met him, but it's like also an energy. And I felt like cheer and him telling me that he saw me. He came to a couple practices in DC, and he liked what he saw. And like for me, I'm like, oh okay. Like I felt wanted. I felt like a priority, and he made me feel that way. And those are my first impressions.
What are your first impressions of Atlanta? Don't know if it's here or not.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not. I know you've played games. And remember about Gateway Center Arena.
It was hard to play. I remember Renee, of course, like BG said, everyone hears Renee. But also it's nice to be on that side, on her side. For me, it's the interaction that the crowd has. Like they're very much into the game. Not saying that and other people are, but you definitely in Gateway. The players feed off of it. It just seems like a very fun place to play.
Shatori, you know what it's like to win a WNBA championship. How can you take that experience and translate that to a team who wants to compete for titles right now?
For me, just doing whatever the team needs me to do, leading by example, going in and being a great teammate on and off the court. And for me, just continuing to work hard, just trying to continue to get better each year. And I'm excited to help Atlanta achieve all the goals that we have set this year.
BG has talked about the history of Atlanta. She's wanting to learn more about the history of this city. What do you know about the history, and why are you excited to be a part of that?
For me, I haven't spent a lot of time, but for me, I think that looking back at the Atlanta Dream in itself, like they're just always competitors. Like no matter where they're ranked, they're always going to come out and compete. So for me, they haven't in the last 10 years, like they haven't had a executive that they're continuing to build. Like you put that grit with the powerhouse and the engine behind it, I mean the sky's the limit.
What excites you the most about this roster and what you can provide on day one when you guys start playing?
Yeah, for me, I like one of the reporters talked about free. For me, I equate free with easy. And you have names like BG and Bree Jones and Ryan Howard. Been on the other side. Like, you have to guard those two players. For me, that means open shots. That means easy. It's free. So all I can do is just knock down open shots and make things work easy.
Talk about being a part of a change like this at a time like this for the women's game.
Yeah.
Have you seen the past 2 years and how you get to come here?
Oh, for sure. Right now is a great time to not only be a fan of women's basketball, because even though I'm a part of it, I'm still a fan, but also, being a part of women's basketball, just the growth. And again, I mentioned the investors, and that's one of the highlights that Dan highlighted is just the investors are all in. And I'm not saying that I haven't experienced that, but for me, like, just being able to talk to them and see the changes that they've made in the last 2 to 3, I think 3 years. The changes that they made, that's a testament to who they are and like the priority that the dream has with them.
Thank you.
Thank you.